What's up? Back for a second Thursday in a row. Joining me, miss this guy, Corey Parson, a fantasy exec, the one and only. How's it going?
Yo, what up, Stephie Smalls? What's good with you? What's up, Steph? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Thursday. We got a big NBA game going on tonight. Any thoughts about it?
Not really. I look at it as I'm the conspiracy theory guy. The NBA is not going to have a week with no games because the finals don't start till next Friday.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to figure out a way to let Minnesota push this thing as far as they can. Ultimately, it's going to be Dallas and Boston. I'll put a nice hefty wager on the Dallas Mavericks. I think that's fantastic television because you got the Boston Celtic fan and you got Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? So that's a match made in heaven right there. So I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying, Steph?
Yeah, all the scripts are coming out. What's been new? Say for NFL season, are the Yankees holding up your time right now?
I can do a little Yankees, you know what I'm saying? If it's on at night, I got the MLB package, whatever. So if it's on, I'll turn it on. They're playing well so far this year.
Yeah.
But it's really just something on in the background, you know what I'm saying? This time of year, once we get to this deep in the NBA season, and then, I'm trying to do the WNBA thing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is like documentary time of year. It's 30 for 30 season. I catch up on things I missed and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I'll go through and I'll do the all that stuff, catch up on 30 for 30 or a series I missed, or I may go back and watch The Wire this summer. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do as I prepare to ramp up for fantasy football. And well, let me not say fantasy football for the NFL season because we stretched into so many things now. Now, Steph, I don't want to take over the program, but
you can take over the program. When you come on my show, it's free reigns. You can do whatever you want.
Steph, you do the golf thing, right? And I was just telling somebody today, I need to put the golf thing in my bag. You know what I'm saying? Because I can do NFL, I can do college football, men's and women's college basketball, MLB, NBA. I can even dabble in the W, but I don't have golf in my bag. I think I need. Well, if you had to choose one thing to have in your broadcast bag, would it be golf or would it be the UFC?
It's golf for me. I think ultimately, I like rooting for golf. It's like you get to root for one guy. I know it's the same thing. I get it's like very similar, but golf is just really entertaining once you get into it.
Okay, I'm all right. Whatever. I take your word for it. And I think I think golf is probably a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So I got to start figuring out.
To sweat out golf too. Like UFC doesn't last that fucking long. It's like it takes whatever, and then someone gets knocked out and we're done.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Steph, Steph, I'm your homeboy. I'm your boy. I'm your partner. Boy. I'm your friend. Yeah, I'm about to get ready to get started, Steph. Now, are you going to? You look like you got a little thicker, Steph. You know what I'm saying?
Do I look like I got thicker?
That's not in a bad way.
Okay, good. I'm like, I feel like people keep calling. I'm like, I've been at the gym a little bit, but no, I think I am normally also wearing just t-shirts on the show, so maybe that's what's going on.
Stand up. No, let me stop.
Listen, we'll keep it. Listen, let's talk. There's two things right now that's like kind of trending that I want to talk about. Obviously, I don't think I've ever been tagged in something more. Something will come out about the Giants, and it's like, my notifications are destroyed. Darren Waller just released a new, I don't really think it's rap, but you guys can call it whatever you want. Thoughts on the Darren
Waller? No, let me tell you something. I don't really have time for bullshit era, right? So I seen the thing, right? And I was like, what is this? And I didn't even click on it, to be honest with you. I was like, I can't deal with it. I'm not doing this, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't never think that Darren Waller and Kelsey Plum was like, the prince and princess, you know what I'm saying? So I think like they got divorced. People were like, oh, he fumbled. And I'm like, did he really fumble?
Yeah.
I don't really see where he fumbled. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Darren Waller, he played tight end for the New York Giants. He doesn't play a very good tight end for the New York Giants. But so when you put the joint on the tweet out, I was like, well, I got to go and watch this. I think I got about 45 seconds into it, Steph, and I was like, this shit is trash.
Okay. Okay. I'll say one thing quick. People got very mad when I said this, but I think the fumbling thing is very like overdone. Did he like fumble? Because I'm sure Kelsey is a fantastic human. And she seems like it. She's very attractive, whatever. Darren Waller is hot and he's going to be fine. Like, I don't know, like fumbling. Like, I don't think it's going to be a thing. Like, he still is very well. Like the fumbling thing is getting a little bit too much. Like
I think that's that's the simps on social media.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, I get it. I
he fumbled her, and you ain't never fumbled nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That's everyone that doesn't fucking watch the WNBA. Anyways, so then
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but I will say, I don't think that this song was horrible compared to some of the stuff that people listen to. I also only listened to 15 seconds of it. So I don't know, maybe, you know what I want? I want the New York Giants to stop
sucking.
No, that too. Fornicating it with fornication is not the right one, but being like dealing with players that want to be rappers and artists and all this stuff. Like I'm all about the off the field, this and that. But
so where are you at but the best offensive player in the history of the organization, Odell Beckham, was ran away by a talk show host. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I don't think Odell had any aspirations. Who else from the Giants, made a, I don't remember any other Giants making records.
Kadarius Toney, remember the young Joker?
He's a
That's what I mean. Young Joker. That's what it started. And then, I think I'm done. At this point, please, I respect everyone wanting to have their hobbies.
How y'all doing? Is the Giant fan and Kadarius Toney still going at it? They still going back and forth?
No, because Kadarius Toney is just he's pretty, he's good irrelevant for him and his Super Bowl appearance. But I think it worked out for both sides. I think so too. I don't know what his deal was for a little bit. I think Andy Reid had to pull him in quite a bit. Waddle and Nico Collins got paid.
Yeah.
Feelings on either of those?
I'm a fan of both. Mm-hmm. Collins, right? Nico is in a good spot this year.
Yeah.
Came up last year, showed good chemistry with the quarterback, comes back for another season. And I think it should go well. I like where his ADP is at right now. He's a dude I would be invested in. And obviously Jaylen Waddle. Steph, I always like situations where it's the same. And the situation in Miami is the same. You know what I'm saying? So I think Waddle is just as good where he is going. So I think both players deserving. And I think both players should be attractive this year. Now, the hype around the Houston Texans, I think, is getting a little carried away. You got people saying that the Texans are probably I heard people saying the Texans are the best team in the AFC. And I'm like, slow down, because it's going to be the AFC Championship game. Kansas City Chiefs going to be in that game. So who is it going to be? Is it going to be Baltimore? Is it going to be Cincinnati? Is it going to be a revamped Chargers with Harbaugh, because Harbaugh win everywhere he go? Or listen, I'm not saying it can't be the Texans, because last year's hype team, the Lions, rode the joint all the way to the NFC Championship game and had the lead at halftime. And really, they pissed the joint away because Son don't know how to play like his Madden, the coach, right? He go for it on fourth down all the time. Yeah. But I don't really like the hype team. You feel what I'm saying? So I would I would do under 10.5 for the Texans. That's the number, right? 10.5.
I think it is.
That's too high, in my opinion.
I don't think it'll move. I think people got a little bit excited. I think they win. I think 10 games doing what they did last. When it was still 9.5, I can get behind that. After that, I'm not sure. Justin Jefferson hasn't got paid yet. Is the last contract note that I'll make. I think he wants I think he wants a lot of. He wants to get paid guaranteed. I think he wants a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah, and he don't have a guaranteed quarterback right now, too. You know what I'm saying? So that could end up being problematic. But he deserves to be paid as the top wide receiver in the league. So I think you got a little back and forth between him and CeeDee Lamb, who's going to go ahead and hit that bank and crack it open first. If I'm Lamb, it's probably going to be Justin Jefferson, because Jerry, much like the fan base, is pretty pissed off. And if Jerry go in there and let everybody play on a 1-year prove-it deal, I'm fine with that, Steph, because I'm sick of that shit. You lose 50 to fucking nothing at home in a playoff game to a quarterback with milk behind his ears. What kind of shit is that? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And the the Dallas Cowboy fan base is pissed off. And rightfully so.
Should be. I think finally too, I'm starting to see people come around to it where it's there's reasons to be angry about what's going on. It's enough of this is our year. Okay, then it better be your fucking year, because you keep saying it and it hasn't been your year. So
Dak Prescott ain't never gonna win shit. Let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Vikings quarterback situation, I want to talk about some of these QB to play first week 1 snap numbers here. Vikings, Sam Darnold is the favorite, -200. JJ McCarthy, +150. Any strong feeling there?
No real strong feelings on that one right there. I do like young quarterback with offensive guru. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe that's not week one, but but listen, we know what Sam Darnold is. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, you have to put the kid in there.
Yeah. But I mean, he's also, the coach over there has proven that he'll let things keep running over and over again, like Dobbs did, maybe play a couple too many games there last year. But I think it's going to be Darnold to start. I think there's no rush to starting McCarthy. I don't know what the benefit would be for them to start McCarthy.
I don't see it either at this point. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, let Darnold do his thing. And then if it gets to the point to where the locker room is like, what's going on? Yeah. Then you go ahead and do the McCarthy thing. But right now, I don't know if that young man is ready to step in and be effective right away.
I agree. I think it only benefits him to sit for a little bit. Only other one that's interesting, which Bo Nix is a very strong favorite here at -425. After that,
that's the Sean Payton effect.
Yeah. Stidham's +450. I was a little surprised by
who's +450?
Stidham. And then 10-1 for Zach Wilson here.
That's interesting.
That is, I don't know why. I guess maybe I shouldn't be as surprised as I am, but I always felt like Stidham was at least going to start. But I mean, sitting there at +450 seems like I'm very wrong then.
One of the few college quarterbacks with wins over Alabama and Georgia, Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Studham is what I like to call him. I thought son could play coming out of college, you know what I'm saying? But it hasn't manifested, but I also don't think he's been given the right opportunities as of yet. I'm a Studham guy, but I think like he's just getting passed over.
Yeah, I think so too. And the Broncos depth chart is deeply unserious. People were very mad when I talked about this the other day, and I just don't care. Like their wide receiver room is what? They've got Cortland, Mims. I don't even who the hell is their other who else is their other wide receiver there? Running backs are Williams, Samaje, Estime, Trout.
No, it's not pretty. You know what I'm saying? They really not. I mean, they doing it the Walmart way. The Walton families is running the Broncos like they run Walmart with bargains. You know what I'm saying? With specials.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what the rush would be to get your.
Here's the thing, Steph. This is the way I would look at it. I think what you're doing right here is, for our purposes in fantasy, right? You know who the people that's going to get the ball are. Like Williams and Sutton are going to get the ball. Everybody else is secondary pieces. So Williams, now listen, the Williams thing, I don't know if I'm ready to buy back in on that, but I'll go get me some Sutton, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going to have a big target share. Marvin Mims is all right, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Troutman and all of them dudes like that. No, this team is led by their defense and their head coach.
Yeah, I'd like to see, like, I think Greg Dulcich is worth like a late round kind of like flyer thing if you're in like the slims of it there. But the Broncos win total at 5.5, I think, is set very fairly.
I would take the over on that 5.5. I think Sean Payton will get him to 6 wins.
Okay. I'm just not Sean Payton. I try very hard, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, I think Sean Payton's a genius. I honestly do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So when Sean Payton and Russell Wilson was beefing last year, you was on Russell Wilson's side?
No, I don't like. Well, no. Listen,
it's hard to be
I don't like either of them. That was like the worst fucking pairing ever for me.
It didn't do it for you, huh?
Yeah. And then it was so bad that at one point I was like, I kind of feel bad for Russ, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad for him at all. No. I think they knew. Listen, he kind of was, Seattle had to make a decision between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. They chose Russell Wilson. Let me tell you something. It reminds me of the Donovan McNabb thing.
Yeah.
People like those coaches like that, organizations, coaches, they know when the player is past their prime. You know what I'm saying? So they went and got the best they could from him. Like when Andy Reid pulled the wool over the command. Well, back then they was called the Redskins, and they traded him a washed up Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
Same thing that Pete Carroll did. They sent the Broncos a washed up Russell Wilson. Now in Pittsburgh, it could be the locker room is set. You know what I'm saying? When you get into that organization, the standard is the standard. So he'll probably take Pittsburgh to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Steelers, as much as everyone wants this drought to come for like Tomlin, like they want the run to end. It's just not. I remember you were on the show and we talked about this, I think, before the season started. last year. Like, I just think that win total, again, like, I'm not going to bet against Tomlin.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't. It's not that I trust Russ. Do I trust Tomlin? Yeah. Do I trust that defense? Yeah. I think that their wide receivers are interesting. I think Arthur Smith being there is interesting from a fantasy perspective, as far as like the running backs go. But
yeah,
it's going to be interesting with the Steelers. Who do you think ends up winning that division?
Just the Bengals.
You think so? Joe Burrow's got to stay healthy, huh?
It's going to come down to the Bengals and the Ravens. Well, you go look at the Bengals schedule. It's almost as if they knew the Bengals have a real easy schedule to start. They don't get to their.
I'm a conspiracy theorist on me. I'm like, this is
no. I mean, go look at their schedule. They really do have a.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest.
No, they do have an easy schedule to start. You know what I'm saying? So, and I do the. Well, let me. I didn't put on my tinfoil hat. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I do like them. I do like I like the Bengals last year until Burrow got hurt. Don't get me wrong. The Ravens. It's going to be the Bengals or the Ravens, and Pittsburgh will be third and probably get in 2.
Yeah. You remember when we did Smash or Pass the last time that you were on? We're going to do some of those if that works. I'm cool with that. For you. Cool. All right.
Kelsey Plum, pass.
Yeah. Pass, yeah. Okay. We're going to start with Jordan Love, your favorite.
Yeah.
He's at 3,900 and a half for his passing yards.
Yeah.
The overs plus 100.
I'm a big Jordan Love guy.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I love Jordan Love. I was on Jordan Love coming in the last season. Matter of fact, my team that went the deepest in Best Ball Mania was a Jordan Love team. Yeah. I'm Jordan Love as my starter on my teams this year. If I can get him, I am a Jordan Love supporter. That's a good young quarterback, a good head coach who now has a quarterback who's going to listen and not tell him what he's going to do. Yeah. I like that dynamic right there. I think they got some good young weapons. I'm a big Jordan Love supporter this year. I played an over on that one right there, and I like him as a fantasy starter for my teams.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. And he goes a little bit later too. So he's like one of these guys that you can get. People aren't as high on. Brady was just praising the hell out of the way that the Packers handled them drafting Love and then being able to sit behind Rodgers. And I think there's something to that. We're not seeing that as much as we used to.
A lot of these, when you take it, like a guy like a Caleb Williams, a Jaden Daniels, that kind of draft capital, especially if you go up to get them, you got to start them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe could a guy like Bryce Young or Will Levis use a year to sit? Well, Bryce Young, I think, can play. I just think Bryce Young was around the wrong people. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's that man named? Frank Wright? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll ask you this before I give you the next one here. Penix obviously was the big, everyone was losing their shit. I was losing my shit at the time. I was at the draft. I just wasn't expecting it. I think that's a lot of it. If you remove age from the question, do you think that the Falcons, in a couple years, we're going to look back and be like, that wasn't the stupidest move ever? Like in
they
2
probably
years?
Look back to the offseason and been like, we should have brought Bill Belichick in here.
Yeah.
And I'm a Raheem Morris guy. I think he deserved the shot. But in this specific situation right here, I think what happens is you need a strong personnel guy in there with him. And I don't know if the personnel guy is strong enough. Obviously, you saw what happened with that pick. Now, with that being said, you still got Kirk Cousins, an older gentleman coming off a very serious injury. So it could be, a slow start for him coming up. So maybe you do see some Penix. It's not that Penix is a bad player. It's that you didn't need to take him there. You feel what I'm saying?
It's unnecessary.
So we're talking. I'm talking down about the pick, not about the player. I'm a Penix supporter. I think Penix can play best deep ball in this draft class right here, and he's got some weapons to do it. I think Atlanta is the X factor in fantasy this year because really that's the biggest offseason story in fantasy is the fact that Arthur Smith is gone and now Bijan and Drake and Kyle Pitts. Can we see what these guys really are now? Yeah. And I think that's the number one story going into draft season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we've seen Kirk for years and years be able to support players like that. And the last thing I'll say on Jordan Love is I think I don't know why people hate Josh Jacobs. I guess I'm a way bigger Jacobs lover than most people are. But there's this narrative that he is going to disrupt the passing attack there, which I think is so stupid. I don't know where that narrative came from, to be quite frank. I think if anything, they can get something going on the ground, which can only help this team more.
And I think that's a good way to look at it as well. And I'll be honest with you, the rookie Marshawn Lloyd, he's a dude, legendary DeMatha High School. Spent some time down here in South Carolina, and then went out there to USC with his boy Caleb Williams. Yo, son can play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you see that when Josh Jacobs had that year a couple years ago when he led the league in rushing, I was like, oh, son carried the ball 380 times this year. He's done now. And that's what it is. He's done. He carried the ball too much that year, and you saw career lows all over the place. So, yeah I'm on that kid Marshawn Lloyd, late round fly on, son.
If we were talking about carrying you're talking about carrying the ball too much. If I was a better host, I'd transition right to Saquon, but I'm not going to do that because I want to bring up this next guy. So it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, smash or pass. His passing yards is sitting at, same thing, 3,800 and a half.
We heard that this guy was a generational talent, and I saw him play at Clemson, and I bought into that. Like, we was throwing around words like Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. And now I'm like, this is Daniel Jones with long hair. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think it's that bad. What I do have a problem with is the inconsistency in his game. Yeah. And sometimes he looks flawless. Let's give the Urban Meyer year a pass. But even in the 2 years under Peterson, and sometimes you see that generational talent. But more times than not, it's an average quarterback. I would not go to the window with this, but I probably would take the over because I don't think the team is that good. And I look at the weapons, and I think the weapons this year, I don't think Calvin Ridley was the right fit for that team. So I think now they got better pieces. I love Brian Thomas out of LSU. We know those LSU wide receivers hit. I think he could come in there and get a good share of targets right away. We know what Kirk and Davis can do, and they got ETN. This is about, this right here is about Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. They need to step up and get this team to the second round of the playoffs. I'm not sure it can happen.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just kind of I think the over makes sense. It's not something I'm putting my money on. I think, you lose Ridley, fine. Again, wasn't really the best fit for that team. Gabe Davis is super unreliable. I love for the people that are going to go out and draft him. It's not going to be me. I'm good. I know what I have in Gabe Davis. I could argue, but I don't want to keep you too long, so we won't get into it. But I could argue that Trevor Lawrence has had a better scenario than Daniel Jones has had since he started.
Are you one of those Giant fans that's on the Daniel Jones supporter?
I'm not. No, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck I don't care what happens with this team. I want to be able to watch games. I just don't care. Yeah. I want to be able to watch games. I want a team to be healthy. I want Evan Neal to not be falling on his face. And I would just want to watch football. That's all I'm asking for. I feel
I think you'll be able to do that. I don't know how much you're going to like it, but you'll be able to watch football. And yes, Jones has been jerked around more than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I think, and there's a lot of excuse for Trevor, and I think some of that comes from him being, the number one overall pick. They were 8-3 to start the season last year, and then would they finish 9-8?
They fell apart.
Yeah, and that was good enough the year before to win the division, but not last year because you have a team that's improving. You also have two teams in that division that have also improved, I think, in this offseason, which includes the Texans. Stephon Diggs is there now. His receiving yards total is sitting at 949 and a half.
These things all sound like the over. I worry about how Stephon Diggs disappeared last year.
Yeah.
Was that just like a disgust of Josh Allen? But he's still a professional. I worry about that.
He got 1,100 yards though, didn't he too?
He was really bad down the stretch.
Yeah, I think he was down the stretch. I think there must have been something more going on, and I know it's hard for people to realize. I think Stephon. I said this on last Thursday. It was a luxury ad. I think Stephon is still. He's still a needle mover in a sense. He's still a solid separator. Is he the guy that we had 5 years ago? I don't think so.
Does he make them better than Kansas City?
No, I don't think so.
Exactly.
Yeah. But maybe does that come from CJ Stroud? I'm not really sure. I think it gives Stroud more options too. People get all, they want to criticize him.
I think listen, I'm a CJ Stroud supporter. I just think it's a matter of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a regression this season. Second-year quarterback is always tough. I don't want to sound like a hater, though, but second-year quarterback is always tough.
Yeah, I think the one thing that aggravates me, which I don't know why this is going on, is Everyone thinks Nico takes a hit here, and they're still very high on Dell, which I'm not like. I like Dell. I think like he has that like inside outside flexibility, and there's a lot to like, but he's still coming off a serious injury.
He is.
And you look at their ADPs, and I think Diggs is going like 2 wide receivers back from Collins, and then Dell is like 10 back from probably Nico.
Yeah, I think all of them at some point throughout the course of the season, all of them will have value in their own way.
Yeah.
But Diggs and Nico are the main two. And I probably would want to pay the cheaper price for the less namely player with Nico.
Yeah, I think I would rather have Nico. I think people got really excited as far as Dell goes, which I love for everyone, but I'm going Nico in this scenario. Okay, 2 more. We can do this one quick, but Jaylen Hurts, his passing yards is 3,600 and a half.
Kellen Moore is going to put the football in the air. So I like the over, right?
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how good the football team is going to be. They can win the division by default because they're better than, the Giants and the Commanders and the tanking Cowboys. But that wasn't a great season last year. Now, okay, could you say it was injuries and stuff like that? Or was it the loss of offensive coordinator? Was it learning a new system? You know what I'm saying? Is that going to affect Jalen Hurts? They held on to that number 1 pick. You know what I'm saying? They didn't believe that Jalen Hurts was the guy a couple years ago. And then he took him to the Super Bowl. And then this year he came back and he had some bad moments. You know what I'm saying? That team needs to have a good year this year. Put it like that.
Yeah, I think I like what they did to their secondary, and that's what everyone wants to bring up.
That's been terrible. Yeah, exactly.
Looked horrible. James Bradbury, I don't know if he's still on the team, whatever the hell is going on over there. They added some.
He did not make Philadelphia Eagle fans were not happy with Bradbury as they played out down the stretch.
Yeah, but then you go back, and when they got him from the Giants, what happened, right? Like we were very, very, very happy. All we could do was talk shit. I think
Bradbury is gone. It's still Quentin Mitchell, Darius Slay, Gardner Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
They brought him back, right?
Cooper. They drafted Cooper. They drafted Cooper DeJean too.
Yeah. I think losing Kelsey is a bigger deal than they realize. Like I get
hell yeah.
I don't think people, and maybe that's just my own trauma from watching a team for a really long time that has a shitty O-line. Like center matters if you didn't know.
No,
like,
I mean when the Dallas Cowboys never recovered from Travis Frederick.
Yeah, like it disrupts everything like entirely.
Mm-hmm.
God, so we'll see. Speaking of Eagles, that bops right over to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
He's sitting 1,125 and a half rushing yards.
Under. I'm not a big Saquon Barkley guy. I think Saquon Barkley's washed up.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think the Giants ran the shit out of him.
Well, they should have. You know what I'm saying? That was really the key to their offense. But when it comes to running backs, there's a couple of things that I look at. Right, I'm gonna go to these statistics right here. It's a couple of things that I look at as kind of markers of what the running back is. So we saw last year, you know what I'm saying, with a decent amount of carries, 3.9 yards a carry, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the average attempt the average reception went back up to 6.8, but running backs need elite pass catching numbers, 10, 7, 8. Yeah. Those are elite pass catching numbers, Christian McCaffrey type numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those days are behind Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I won't.
Are you a Giant fan that's like bitter that he's with the Eagles now?
His jersey is still behind me. Like I don't I don't think the way he like went about it was the best. But like at the end of the day, it's a business. Do your thing. Like it would have been easier to root for you. Now I'm not going to root for you. Like I'm not hoping he gets hurt, but I think there was better scenarios for him other than the Eagles. It felt very petty, but you can be petty and do whatever.
Like in 10 years from now, if he comes like the Giant Stadium and you're in attendance, is it like a standing ovation? Or it's like, oh, it's Saquon.
Standing ovation? No.
No, it's too much.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's reserved for like Lawrence Taylor, right?
Yeah, maybe that's my own, like, listen, there might be other traumas, and I'm like, you can't say you want to be a Giant for life and then not, and then complain they didn't give you, they tried to offer you more money like halfway through the season, it wasn't enough for you, so that's fine. Go get your better opportunity.
Yeah, whatever.
It's whatever. He's, it's all good. I actually think Singletary, and I like that Tracy that they drafted quite a bit. I think the Giants I think they're going to be okay as far as like the running game. They're going to figure it out. Like Singletary has proven to just be effective. Like I think
he's a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's a guy. He's a jag. You know what I'm saying? But he can get the job done. I would be excited about Malik Neighbors if my quarterback wasn't Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but I think too, like, and it's funny you keep transitioning for me because I was going to ask you who you think what rookie is more likely to go over their yards other than Marvin and Rome Odunze. I'm actually shocked. I think Neighbors' number must have got bet up a little bit. Rome is sitting at 675 receiving yards. Malik is at 840.
The lack of talk. I mean, what's the word? What am I trying to say? The fact that it's the bums on the Giants. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And I think counterpointed, like even speaking about Saquon and transitioning it into this, I think taking, and people that listen to the show, I've said this before, so I know I'm repeating myself, but I think taking Saquon out of the New York Giants offense like forces them to be a little bit more modern and throw the fucking ball. Like even when they had opportunities to do it,
but Son can't turn the ball over. That's the key.
Yeah, of course.
He can't turn the ball over.
And if he's healthy, who knows, behind a little bit better of an O-line. But I think like even when he was healthy, that second year after the year, Dable's first year, they were so hesitant to throw the ball. And it was so frustrating. Like at least try to throw the ball. I realized though that there wasn't that good of receiving talent like in Malik Neighbors.
But it was times when, like when they played the Commanders, you knew that somebody was going to go off because all receivers went off versus the Commanders. Yeah. So they were good in spots like that. So you could, Neighbors have some value like that. But he's kind of it's tremendous talent. But it's a tough situation offensively in New York.
We'll see how it goes. Better. They'll probably, they'll do their thing. I still think they'll probably surprise people. I don't think they're going to win less games than they did last year, but I think they're looking at still drafting pretty high. Have you looked at any of the awards yet for this year?
MVP.
Lines. Who are you looking at?
Jordan Love.
Yeah. Are you doing it? I was going to guess. So you love Jordan Love.
In love.
Is it from the game that he spanked?
When I saw him came into Dallas and beat the bum ass Cowboys 50-0, I thought this guy's fucking good. But no, I had him on fantasy teams last season, right?
Yeah.
And some of my best teams, and I was like, this kid can play. And you know what I'm saying? And he plays with he's fearless. I liked it a lot. I'm a Jordan Love supporter. I like young quarterbacks to win the award.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan Love is going to have a decent shot. So, I wish you could like bet on these things and like as the number drops, you get paid, but it doesn't happen that way. They have to actually win the award. But yeah, I like Jordan Love. Outside of Jordan Love, I mean, it's the regulars, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And none of them are really, except for who?
Well, no, it's just
CJ Stroud is going to be a very popular MVP pick this year as well.
Yeah, it's annoying because I feel like everyone it's just I think that Bryce Young being so shitty made CJ Stroud look better. Like he had a fantastic season. I'm not taking away from that, but I think in everyone's mind, like all the simpletons, I think that made him seem much, much better than probably his season was.
I think Bryce have a bounce back year this year.
You think? He still can support like Thielen had what? How many fucking yards did Adam Thielen have? Like
Thielen had a ton of catches.
He did what? Yeah. Like I still think Young has something in it. I think that they made a point, which teams like do this a little bit too late, but they made a point to bring in like some O-line talent, probably overpaid for quite a like. I think they
had to. That dude don't know what he's doing. David Tepper, like Frank Wright was a bad hire. You had problems protecting, but I seen him sending 5 out in the route, and I'm like, this is not going to go well for Bryce Young. Here's the deal. Right, you talked about Adam Thielen. I love a veteran receiver with a young quarterback. Keenan Allen should probably lead the league in targets this year.
Really, I like that. I like it quite a bit.
Think Andrew Luck. Think Andrew Luck, Reggie Wayne. Andrew Luck's rookie season, Reggie, all he did was throw the ball to Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
I think young receivers, I think a young quarterback locks in on the veteran receiver, especially a guy like Keenan Allen, who is quarterback friendly, run quarterback friendly routes, get open, sit down. I think he's going to have a big year this year.
Okay, good to know. I feel like I've never been one to draft a lot of him. I don't know why. You know how you have those guys who you don't end up drafting.
Well, he's scared you're going to sit on your bench because he hurt.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. Offensive player of the year. Any feelings about CD? Because I feel kind of strongly about it.
If I didn't think Dallas was in tank mode, I definitely can get behind that because he's going to get a ton of
you
targets.
Think they're really in tank mode? What do you mean?
I think you got everybody playing. So I think with everybody playing on 1-year deals like this, I think they're looking to, because why not extend that?
I mean,
why pay him $56 million for 1 year? That doesn't allow you to do anything else on your roster. So what are they telling you? They're telling you that this is a 1-year deal. If you and they're not going to support him. The RB1 is Ezekiel Elliott.
I know.
See what I'm
Sorry,
saying?
I didn't mean to laugh. I did.
No, I'm serious. They're not supporting the team.
It's very unserious.
Yeah, exactly. It's unserious. This is a team that is tank mode with an eye on Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And even what? It's CD and who's the next one? Like who?
They're talking about Michael Thomas, so he'll play 3 games.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Now, as far as offensive player of the year, I would look at Jamar Chase. I think Puka could be in that mix too. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, Bijan Robinson, I think, could really have a dynamic breakout style season for Bijan with Arthur Smith now in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think Garrett Wilson's interesting too a little bit.
I worry about you. See Aaron Rodgers sitting on the floor yesterday?
Speaking of, yeah, I did. He could barely get his socks on. He's a little bit old.
Oh man, this doesn't look good.
Yeah, Arvon asked, Cousins or Rodgers for comeback player of the year. Who do you like more?
It's tough because both of them are coming off of very serious injuries and serious injuries for older dudes as well. I probably out of those two, I probably would give the slight nod to Rodgers, right? Because he's at a place where he's very comfortable playing with that team. So that could be it. And you're looking, I'm trying to think who else could possibly make some noise for that award right there.
I think Anthony Richardson is an interesting name.
Yes, he is very interesting.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was hurt last year too.
I feel like the voters would be more inclined to vote for Cousins and make this whole story out of like him going to a new team and them drafting someone and than voting for
like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be my quarterback, but he can be my brother-in-law. Yeah. All
right, last thought.
I mean, my sister's already married. No disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I don't want him to be the quarterback. We already got the black Kirk Cousins.
All right, last before you get me in trouble here. Last.
Oh my bad, I forgot.
We have a final. Like, give me one guy that you're really high on in fantasy because I'm sure who knows the NBA it probably has even tipped off yet.
Yeah, I'm not even tripping off of no basketball right now. Yeah. One guy I'm very high on this year. That's an interesting question. I've already mentioned my love for Bijan. I think Breece Hall, I worry about what the Jets are, you know what I'm saying, offensively. I still think it's a big Jamar Chase. You know what? I hate to do this, right? It's Marvin Harrison. I think this is going to be special. You know what I'm saying? I think this is going to be special. And the ADP, the dude is going off the board as wide receiver 9. He's a second-round draft pick. He hasn't stepped on the field yet. And I'm thinking this guy could live up to the hype. You know what I'm saying? So Maserati Marv is somebody I'm going to have a few shares of this year.
Yeah, I'll never forget. It was I think it was my first year, like first season going into when I like first started in the industry. Jamar Chase was a rookie. I was on like a CBS, like did a mock draft, whatever. My first like big live stream on YouTube. And I drafted Jamar. It doesn't fucking matter. I drafted Jamar Chase. I'll never forget it. It was like 211, and I got destroyed in the comments. I got ripped apart to pieces. And then I looked very smart. But
at the end when you was winning the joint, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'll never
forget
it. Like, I actually want to go back at some point and go look at those comments, and people are so fucking nasty. But actually, this one I wanted to ask you, and then I'll actually let you get out of here. The pick or the underscore pick 6, Kyle Pitts fantasy. Where you at?
Yeah, I'm back in on Kyle Pitts. Every year I say, you know what I'm saying, I do this song and dance with Kyle Pitts where I'm out. And now I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I want to pay the right price. Right now he's going off the board as tight end 6. And you know what? That's kind of right where he should be. Like, my thing with tight end is this. You go get you an elite one or just go play the streaming game. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about the elite ones, it's Laporta, Kelsey, you know, Mark Andrews, McBride. McBride. I think Dalton Kincaid and Kyle Pitts is the elite level right there. Yeah. If I can't get the elite level, then I'm cool to drop down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. You're the best. I'll have to get you back on soon. Tell the people where they can find you, because if they're not following you, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right now, you can find me right there at the Fantasy Exec. That's the only place that fucking employs me right now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. All right, I'll see you every Thursday then. That works for me.
No doubt.
All right, go enjoy the show. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
All right, Corey, saying goodbye. Yeah. Bye, Corey.
Bye, Corey. See ya.
He's behind the scenes. Yeah. Well, we were talking before the show. You like the Darren Waller song, or it's not that bad. Corey shit on it.
He did very quickly. But I think if you go in, well, I've only listened to like 15 seconds of it, to be completely fair.
Okay.
I also think it sounded like, what's that? There's a song that just came out that I like. It's like the fucking, I don't know, it's called Tipsy or whatever. I don't know who the hell it's by. It's like a country rap. Like, I feel like it's just very auto-tuned and it's very catchy. Like, I feel like if someone else produced that, people will be like, oh, this is sick. The only reason why people don't like it. Like, I bet okay, let me see. I bet if 70% of the people that said they didn't like it showed it to their wife or girlfriend, they would like the song.
Well, here, let's listen to it. Let's I cut a clip. So here we go. I just think it's kind of cheesy with the backstabbing. Like, the video is kind of cheesy. The song sounds like a lot of songs today, but the video is pretty cheesy with the backstabbing.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that his wife dropped her cigar line yesterday and then he dropped this today? Like, are they in cahoots? What's going on? That's a little weird.
I don't know. Maybe they have PR reps that are working together.
Yeah, I'll have to listen.
Maybe the PR reps are kind of in cahoots. Yeah,
it's a little dramatic. It's definitely, and then like at one point I saw someone. He's like laying on the beach, but I thought it's weird.
Oh yeah, I got that clip too. It's almost like he wasn't prepared for the wave to come because he's supposed to be dead there.
Oh, he is supposed to be dead. But then it's weird. Isn't the song, like, I looked it up on Spotify and it's in parentheses her perspective?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know what it means either. So
I guess I'm not sure. I think it's.
Wasn't he the one that cheated?
Yeah, apparently.
So why is she backstabbing him?
I don't know. Maybe there's a plot. I have no idea.
Ooh, maybe she cheated first and we don't know about it. Maybe he's the one that got caught though.
I don't know.
Or
maybe he's just making her like a. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing. Because how long does it take? I guess that song, if everyone says it is not the best song and auto-tune can do whatever. So did he like record it overnight? Or like, I don't understand the timing of it. It's very bizarre.
I don't think it has anything to do with her cigar line, right?
No, but like, why did it get rid? Am I the only one that thinks that? Maybe because I'm like I'm a girl and like being crazy, but like it's weird that he dropped it
right after.
It was the next day. It's not even right after. It's literally the next fucking day.
The next day, yeah. I don't know how it lines up, but
did she sue him for that? She should if she can.
I don't know. It probably just adds more publicity to her. It probably helps.
Yeah.
more than it hurts.
That maybe she said, I won't tell everyone what happened if you drop your shitty single the day after. Yeah.
And you can have the fake woman of me representing me stabbing you in the back on the beach.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get to some questions.
We'll have to follow along the timeline because I think this is going to get juicy.
Yeah. Let's follow along. All right. First question from Nikki the Good. Who is on your fantasy blacklist? Will never be drafted again due to egregious acts of subpar play. I think this is a great question. I'm curious about this one too. Who do you got on your list?
It's funny because Nikki's definitely asked this because he was very upset with Kelsey's like regular season play. Last year, he drafted him on a bunch of teams and he did not do well during the regular season. You know who mine is? And I can't get over it. Like it legitimately, like it hurts my feelings. Okay. It was 2021. The New England Patriots signed Henry and fucking Jonnu Smith. And I was like, this is going to be sick.
Oh, I remember that.
We're going to get these 2 tight end sets. It's going to be like old times. I drafted so much Jonnu Smith. I still have him on dynasty benches. And it did not go well at all. So Jonnu Smith is the first one that comes to mind. I cannot even look at him. I know everyone's excited for him this year. And I just...
Whoa. Everybody is not excited for him.
Okay. Well,
I think that's a bit of an overstatement just because he's on the Dolphins now. Yeah. He's going pretty late in drafts.
Not everyone. He's definitely going late, but there's still a little bit of chatter where I think that the door should have shut.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Is that fair? Yeah.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. So Jonnu Smith on your shit list. You never...
Do you have one?
Do I have one?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike Williams. I'm tired of getting burned by him getting injured. I mean, I don't fault the guy for getting injured, but he gets injured every year. He starts off like a ball of fire and then gets injured every time. And I'm tired of drafting him. So I'm definitely not drafting him.
Austin Eckler too. Like that's the next name that comes to mind, to be completely honest.
Eckler, huh?
Yeah. It just didn't work out for me.
All right. Well, that's fair. Let's go to the next question.
It says everyone is mildly tolerant of him. I know. It's my trauma. I told you guys
that. Yeah. No, that's funny. I like that. Let's go to the next question. Let me pull that up. How did Stephie Smalls become the Stephie Smalls that we know and love? That's from Darius Smith. Darius, I don't think he's watching today. He hasn't been commenting, but
it's like a really deep question and a really long
answer. Is a very deep question.
We'd have to do like a whole another episode, or you could like text my therapist and see if you can get some information.
Well, you went to medical school and then left medical school. So maybe that's how you became, that's your origin story.
It was all over. Yeah. Plaxico Burress. That's when it all started. The second he shot himself in the leg.
There you go. Downhill. That's a good origin story. Yeah. All right. What's your dream job? This from @CrystalSkewer. Skewer? I hope you would say this is your dream job, but I don't know. What is your dream job?
I mean, this is my dream job. I don't know what else. Like getting paid to like talk about sports is not bad at all.
We just get you paid for this. That would be great.
Yeah.
If anybody is watching
all my other stuff, like the social media stuff, and then like if this show could take off enough, then we'll be good.
All right. You're living the dream. Just got to get you paid. All right. Have you thought about making merch? This is from Armand Wyatt.
I have.
We have thought about that.
Yeah, I have a ton of. I have tons of merch stuff drafted up. When I get a second from my social media management stuff, I will get it up eventually.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be fun. We got to make some shirts, got to make some hats. It'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Those are all the questions for today.
Sweet. We'll be back on Tuesday for more golf. Not happy with today's round. I'll get some round 2 bets up to try to make up for some of my shitty handicapping. And be sure to like, subscribe, review, rate, and review if you are listening. And we'll see you next week.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it.